If you're running Facebook ads but don't know what you're doing with the tracking side of things, this video is for you. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how Facebook ad tracking works in 2026 based on real setups that we see at our company. So you'll understand exactly what happens behind the scenes, and if your setup is broken, you'll understand how to fix it. We'll go through 4 specific parts in this video. How Facebook ad engine works, how you send data to it, how it matches it to a particular user, and how it knows which ad to credit it to. Before we get started, my name is Emmett and I run PixelFlow. This is built from real customer questions that we get asked on setup calls. PixelFlow helps you send better data and get more accurate reporting in your Facebook ads by using the Facebook Conversions API, which means better results at lower costs. So the biggest change in Facebook ads in recent years is that it now works less like an ad platform and more like a matchmaker. The old way of running Facebook ads was that you used to go in and pick your audience yourself. You'd choose interests, age, location, people interested in yoga. You were basically guessing. That way of doing it is now mostly dead. These days, you don't even pick your audience at all. Your data picks it for you. So let me explain. When someone buys from you or books a call or fills in a form, you then send that action back to Facebook. Facebook knows something like 52,000 data points about every single person. So it takes everyone who converted on your website and it works out what they secretly have in common. Maybe they all watch cat videos at 2 a.m. Who knows? Stuff you'd never spot yourself. Then it goes and finds more people like them. Those people convert. That's more data. It gets sent back to Facebook and it continues in a loop, getting sharper every time. So basically, you're not just buying clicks, you're actually instead actively teaching and training your Facebook pixel or your data set who your best customer is. That means it becomes a self-improving cycle. You make sales or you get leads, you send it back to Facebook, it finds more of those people and you make more sales. Over time, your targeting keeps getting better because Facebook keeps getting more data on who your ideal customers are. Now here's the part that surprises people the most. You should be sending this data even when you're not running ads. We get this question quite a lot. Why should I send data to Facebook when I don't even have ads switched on? Because that data isn't going straight into an ad, it goes into your data set. And Facebook keeps learning from it in the background. So every form that gets filled out, every sale from organic traffic, from Google, Instagram, people typing in your name of your website directly, it all quietly trains Facebook on who your customer is. That gets stored in your data set. So the day that you finally switch an ad on, it's not starting cold. It already knows exactly who to go and find based on the original traffic you've sent when you're not running Facebook ads too. And there's a second reason. That data goes stale. Facebook holds those matching signals for so long before they start to fade. So if you install your tracking, just leave it running, ads or no ads, your data set compounds instead of resetting to 0 every time that you take a break. So your organic traffic isn't wasted, it's pure training data. So that's the whole engine at a high level. Next, we'll explain how the pipeline works and how the data actually gets back to Facebook. So we know that Facebook wants your conversion data. The next question is how that data actually gets to it. Quick explainer of the terms first of all. Everything you care about, like a lead or a booking or a purchase, starts life as an event. An event is just a little packet of information that says this person did something on your website. That's all. Facebook's whole job is collecting those little events that come from your website and matching them to real people. So there's 2 paths an event can take to reach Facebook. The first is the pixel. That's a piece of code that's on your website, loads in the visitor's browser, and it's easy to set up. It's been around forever, but the problem is nowadays ad blockers, iPhone privacy settings, cookie restrictions, all of that blocks a big chunk of these before they even arrive. So on some sites, you may see 30 to 40% of events being completely blocked and not sent to Facebook if you're using the pixel only. The second road is Conversions API. So this is what's called CAPI for short. This sends the event straight from a server to Facebook. It never touches the browser, so ad blockers and privacy settings can't stop it. So here's the important part. You don't just pick one. A modern tracking setup sends both at the same time and lets Facebook stitch the 2 copies together. The server copy quietly catches everything that the browser copy dropped. That combination is the single biggest thing that recovers your lost conversions. It's most of the reason why server-side tracking exists at all. Just a quick note while we're on this topic, because you might have run into it. You might have seen the meta-free one-click version of Conversions API, and you should turn it on if all you have today is a pixel. It's a free upgrade. There's no reason not to do it. But it's worth understanding what it actually does, because it's easy to think that it means the job is done. All it does is takes the events that your pixel already fired and sends a second copy server side to them. It's useful and it catches some of what ad blockers drop, but it can only forward the event that the browser already saw. So a subscription that renews next month, a refund, a sale that happens offline, a call booked over the phone, something booked on a third-party website. One-click CAPI never finds it. It doesn't add anything extra on top to what the pixel already saw. So the way to think about it is one-click CAPI is a backup of your browser events. A proper server-side setup sends events straight from your server, including the ones the browser never saw, with more identifying info attached. So sending everything twice creates an obvious problem. If everything goes out twice, how does Facebook not count it as two sales? That's called deduplication. Each event carries a shared ID and Facebook uses to go, okay, this was a browser copy, this was a server copy, same event, merge them together. With PixelFlow, we load both your pixel and CAPI together, so you never need to worry about deduplication. We send the same event via browser and server with the same ID, so Facebook automatically can deduplicate. So that's the pipeline. Two roads, both firing, deduplicated down to one clean count. Now, the interesting question, once the event arrives, how does Facebook actually know who this person was and which ad they came from? So the event has arrived, clean, deduplicated, one copy. Now Facebook has two questions it's trying to answer about it. The first thing is, who is this person? So it can go find more people like them. The second part is, which ad did they come from? So it can credit to the right campaign, ad set, or ad. That's it. So the next two things I'm actually going to show you are just those two questions, one at a time. When you get both of them right, your tracking works. If you miss the first part, Facebook won't be able to find you more of your customers. If you miss the second part of it, Facebook won't be able to credit the right ads, so your numbers in your ads manager won't be accurate. So let's start with the who is this person part first. And the nice thing is Facebook actually gives you a score for this, which is called event match quality. You can see your EMQ scores inside Events Manager, sitting next to every event you send. This is a number up to 10, and it's telling you basically how confident Facebook is that it can match the event to a real person. The more identifying info you send with the event, the higher that number climbs. So let me give you some real numbers so you know what you're aiming for. If you don't send any personal data at all, you're looking at around 5 to 6 out of 10. When you start sending name, email, phone, you can jump up to a 9 or higher. Perfect 10 is pretty much impossible. The person needs to be logged into Facebook. You need their date of birth, gender. And if you're wondering what matters the most, it's usually email is the biggest one, then it's phone and name. This is a bit more technical, but if you'd like to understand what each item is that you send back to Facebook, here's a quick explainer. So every event is one packet with two halves. Who is the person and what they did. Here's all the parts that you can put into it. And the more that you fill in, the higher your event match quality score is. So who they are. You can send the email, which is the strongest signal. Phone is the second strongest. First name and last name. City, state, zip code, country, location basically. Date of birth and gender. It's rarely available, but they do count if you do have them. External ID, so this is just your own anonymous ID for that browser. So Facebook can tie each person's events together over time, even before they know what their email is. The second part is their device and browser. So stuff like their IP address, user agent, so that's their browser and device. Their browser ID, which is FBP. So this is a random ID that your pixel drops into the cookies. And again, it identifies the user's browser across various visits. The ad click link. So this is how Facebook credits the right campaign. So the first part is the click ID, which is FBC. This is stored as FBCLID from an ad click. It's attribution and a top match signal in one. Lead ID, login ID, subscription ID. These are special cases for like lead form ads, logged in users and subscriptions. The event itself and the money part of it. So the custom data that you can send. First of all is the event name, like purchase, lead, add to cart, subscribe. The event time, when it happened, the event ID. This is the shared ID that you send through the pixel and the server so that it can merge them both into one. The URL, where it happened. Source, if it was website, app, offline. Value and currency, so how much the conversion was worth. Contents, contents ID, order ID, so the number of items are exactly what was bought. So here's the single biggest mistake that we sometimes see. People tracking the page instead of the action. Loads of people track a conversion by watching for a page load. So when someone reaches my thank you page, count it as a lead. It works, but it's the weakest possible way to do it because at the moment that page loads, you actually have no idea who the person even is. So you hand Facebook a conversion with almost no signals attached to it. It scores like a 6 out of 10. The fix is obviously to track the action itself. So track the form submission, because at that exact moment someone hits send on your form, their name, their email, their phone number are all sitting right there in the fields. If you can grab that and send it to Facebook, browser side and server side, it'll dramatically increase your event match quality score and Facebook will know who to show your ads to. So in PixelFlow, you can click on track more events, choose the event that you want, let's say lead, and you could have a page load trigger and put in your page there, like thank you page. click on create trigger, and it will trigger a lead event whenever your thank you page loads. It's totally fine. The downsides of that, like I mentioned, are you're not going to have much extra information attached to it. We do have a feature called block duplicate events, so somebody reloading the page isn't going to create duplicate events. But the better way, like I mentioned, is when the form is submitted is what you would trigger instead. So if you use something like our point and click visual tagger, you would actually track the form instead. So when the submit button is clicked, we could have this as a contact event. Now we're tracking the user's name and email address. Once that's set up, now all of a sudden, the same event, if it was lead, could be triggered on the submit button. We could collect the user's name and email, and that's going to have a far higher event match quality score in Facebook. And it will be more accurate too, because somebody's not going to reload the page. It only happens on form submission. Okay, so the second question is, which ad did they come from? This is how Facebook decides which campaign actually gets credit for the conversion, and it all hangs on one thing, which is the Facebook click ID. So when someone clicks on your ad, Facebook sticks a unique tag onto your URL. You've probably seen it, like when you click on an ad or any link from Facebook, you have a long string with FBCLID equals and a huge long string at the end. So it's unique to that one click by that one person. Your tracking grabs it, stores it, and when the conversion happens later, it sends that ID back to Facebook with the conversion. Facebook reads it and it knows exactly who it was because it knows which ad they clicked, because it gave out that link themselves. So if you send that, your match quality score jumps quite dramatically. If you lose it, Facebook keeps nagging you that you're not sending enough data, no matter how many sales you're actually getting. Now, just one thing on this, if half of your traffic is organic, you're not going to have an FBC for 50% of the events that you send back. So you will see in Facebook, send FBC with more events. It's not going to be possible in every situation. So if 20% of your traffic is from Facebook, you should be sending back events with 20% FBC in those events. There's one other thing to note with the FBC. If somebody goes off to a third-party website to make a booking, make a purchase after they come to your website, your FBC is going to be dropped and Facebook won't be able to credit it to the right person. So there's two ways around this. The first one is to send the visitor back to your own site after they book. The moment they land back on your domain, you can use a tool to stitch the click ID back into the booking. That's how one of our integrations, like the Calendly integration, works, which takes the booking server to server, reconnects the click ID, and then sends it back to Facebook. If you genuinely can't redirect them back, the fallback is at least to track the button click, so you'll know how many people click on book now for each campaign. Do it as a separate event, and then you can at least have some source of truth of this many people clicked on the button, this many people booked a call. Another option is to use something like our page load trigger in PixelFlow, where if you were to redirect the user back to your website, you could have a page load trigger, and when the page loads, some platforms let you add additional information to the URL. So for example, if your thank you page from, let's say, Calendly, if you didn't have a Calendly Pro account, you wouldn't be able to use some of the integrations that require Calendly Pro. But Calendly free version lets you include a redirect. So you can redirect people back to your website. You can include parameters in the URL. So what they will do is they will do something like name equals, and it will include the name of the person, like this, plus, let's say, phone equals. If you can give an example of the URL with all the extra parameters, then PixelFlow or a similar platform will be able to extract that data every time the page loads, like this. So name would be full name, phone, we could say it would be phone number, and then every time it will extract that information from the URL depending on if it's a new person every time. So that's basically how Facebook ads work in 2026. It's a lot more simple than it looks. There's obviously a lot of complexity there, but at a high level, there's 4 different parts. Essentially, you want to send events through the browser, which is the Pixel, and the Conversions API. Facebook will stitch the events back together using a process called deduplication to merge both events into one. The more data you can send back, the better. The higher your event match quality score goes, the more likely it is that Facebook will be able to find you more people who are your ideal customers. So it will be able to show your ads to the right people, which means your cost per click or your cost per lead or your cost per action will drop, your ROAS will increase.